Perhaps we've lost our audience.
Yeah, I think I've said it every time, and like this meeting invite is not on my calendar, which means it's probably not propagating to everyone's calendar. And luckily I'm catching the emails that have the link in it, and I'm just personally going creating a meeting event on my own calendar, adding the link in. But yeah, I think to really increase attendance, we need to fix that glitch because it's definitely
Mhm.
yeah, impacting participation.
But selfishly today, if nobody shows up and we gain an hour back, I'm not going to be super upset.
I could really, really, really use the time back.
Yep, same here.
How's everybody's summer going?
Okay.
Well, I know we're recording right now, so
Oh, never mind.
I just don't.
Ryan is thinking someone will come and watch the recording. Or
Yeah, I say we give it till 5 after and then we call it.
yeah. However, I think presentations slides look good, and yeah, we have a story to tell. I just hope that people come and start submitting the data, or at least for the logo on their product, just come and submit. Getting the logo, what I understood is like they have the number and that's what they would just want to tell everyone. And it makes sense not to submit data to OCP, but have a one-on-one communication with the person who really wants it. And then, yeah.
I think we can set ourselves a. We can come up with some success metrics around adoption in the marketplace. Like, the good thing is with every single product that's listed there, it would be very easy for us to send out if OCP would allow us to do so. We could actually solicit participation directly, and basically send out an email saying, hey, we have this new logo available. Here's the criteria. Here's the base specification. If you're interested, please, send a note to OCP Marketplace that you are in compliance and you want to have this acknowledgement, and then like that. I mean, it might be a really easy way to get a broad adoption.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or OCP send out a mail first to all. I believe they would have the email of the,
Yeah, it would have to come
representative
from
from the,
OCP. It couldn't come from
yeah.
us.
Yeah. And then calling it out, right? That this is the new program that we have introduced where you can be recognized as a embodied carbon disclosure ready or some sort of thing. And then they go and start investigating that what it is and what program it is, and then start figuring out that thing. Yeah.
Let's bring that up with Rob next week, though. I like that idea.
Yeah. And I think calling like the document is long, but yeah, we can call out the eligibility criteria. Yeah, man, just a 3 bullet point, right? You need to have an embodied carbon emission calculator and all those things.
Hi, Julian.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well. How are you doing?
Good.
It does not look like we have many people today. So, but since you're on, we do want to announce that we have published our OCP base specification for embodied carbon disclosure. And we'll be announcing that officially at the Global Summit. And I'm looking, what does NetScout do?
Network service assurance and cybersecurity.
Okay. Great.
So very curious about the. Happy to hear that, and looking forward to reading what's going on.
Great, yeah. And so I would imagine then it's more of a solution that you'll be using with your vendors, right?
Yes.
Nice.
Hmm.
Yeah, we are encouraging folks to start using that with vendors, uh, asking for embodied carbon disclosure information. What we want to be able to do is to um, be able to have some products listed on OCP Marketplace saying that they're embodied carbon disclosure ready before before the summit, so we can showcase those. Um, I would say for everybody on this call, maybe taking a look at the OCP Marketplace product list and going through the providers specifically on there. And if any of those are your suppliers, like let's reach out to them and see who can be our first OCP ready company
Yeah.
product.
Hmm.
But,
Which are some of the big ones on the list?
um, I guess it depends on what you're buying. Like Supermicro, I see Intel, I see um Cisco. This wooden data center guy, I wonder if he might be a really good person too. He's got a solution on here. Like he's been at all of the OCP um sustainability track at the conferences. So I'm happy to find his information and reach out to him. But that's not a whole lot else to report right now, I guess, unless Lilith or Ryan, you have anything else you want to add?
No, I think consider this as a guiding document that, when you are having dialogue with your supplier on what information you are looking for, just direct them to this document saying that just follow this document and submit all the parameters which are listed over there. This is the minimum data points we are recommending should be collected so that, you can make sense of the embodied carbon emission number they are disclosing. Like otherwise, it's just a carbon emission number, and with that additional information you can understand how that number was calculated, what all of the assumptions were taken, and yeah, how good or bad that particular number is. So yeah, just send this document to your supplier if you are planning to collect this embodied carbon emission number.
And let's we let me go ahead and link it here in the chat as well. Just getting it open. Do. OCP. All right.
Thank you.
I think this should work. So it is the contribution called how far down there? How do you get to
It's the
that?
second in the list.
Oh, the second on list. Thank you.
Yeah. Let me just paste the screenshot as well. This one.
Nice. Great.
Hmm.
Sadly, I think that's all our update for right now until we start moving into the next phase after the summit. We're going to start trying to figure out how to apply more rigor, really think through the different product categories in there, MEP equipment, IT equipment, and building materials, and try to figure out how do we take this as that first step and go into figuring out how to increase the rigor and move towards decarbonization. If no more questions or anything, I think we could probably all take a bunch of our time back today.
I was wondering, because I would join the meeting a little bit late. Will you be will the video be ready on website?
The video.
Yeah, because when I joined the meeting, they said the call will be videotaped or
Oh,
recorded.
I think just the it shows up with a recording here in Zoom afterwards. Honestly, we have not covered a lot. Basically, we've published the the base specification for embodied carbon disclosure. It's
Hmm.
at this open compute slash contributions link.
Right.
We are going to officially announce that at the
Mhm.
OCP Global Summit. In the meantime, we're asking for, if you are a vendor and you have products listed on the OCP marketplace, to indicate which products of yours are able to meet this, this request from customers. So if you are able to, if a customer were to come to you and say, I want to have embodied carbon disclosure for, for a chiller or a chip that I'm buying, then as a vendor, you'd be able to say, okay, I'm prepared to send you that carbon disclosure information within 90 days. Or conversely, if you're a customer, if you're, if you're working with vendors, you're buying things, then we're hoping that folks in this community will start reaching out to their vendors to say, I need you to be able to respond to this kind of disclosure request. And so we wanted to start to populate OCP Marketplace with carbon disclosure ready products.
Can I, do you have the link to the OSP marketplace? Because
Yeah,
I'm
let's
not so
see.
sure I see that before.
Yeah. So there's products. And then
Okay.
in case you were too late to join for this, here's the contribution is um the space specifications on that contributions page.
Awesome. Another further question is, for you, the embedded the carbon label. What is the difference between this label and the EPD, environmental product declaration? What's the difference between those two documentations or your organizations? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great question. So this is a methodology for how that EPD information is being conveyed. It is we're basically we're saying with this, we need to have more embodied carbon disclosure in the data center industry. There are multiple ways that vendors are disclosing that kind of information or measuring it. And this is really methodology agnostic, and it's a starting point. We realize that, some methodologies are going to have more rigor than others. But right now, this specification is really just increasing the amount of that disclosure that happens. So it is saying, kind of four big pieces. What is the product that you're disclosing carbon information for? What is the embodied carbon number that you as a vendor have calculated and come up with and are disclosing?
Mhm.
And then what are the methodologies that go into you creating that? And EPD is one of those methodologies that's
Okay.
acceptable. And really, it's not dictating what methodology to use, but rather what, it's helping the customer to gather some empirical data to then start to figure out, well, what kind of rigor do I want to apply to, what kind of rigor do I want my supplier to apply to this measurement? Where are they at? And how can I start to use this information to make procurement decisions?
Okay. No, sorry. Now I have follow-up questions.
Yeah.
So, for this ECL, is this self-published or you have some governing body to overlooking at it?
The OCP steering committee overlooked it and approved it for publication.
Okay. What is the cost if we need to review it?
It's free.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So do we have some format? Is this like a format methodology for publishing those? Are those in you in your
That's
book?
Yeah, that's the thing, is we're not asking the vendors to actually publish the carbon disclosure information, but rather it's indicating that the carbon information is available, and when the customer asks for it, the vendor is able to send that directly to the customer. We ran
Okay.
into a lot of problems with the vendor community being hesitant to want to have their carbon information published or
Mhm.
collected in a centralized way.
Okay.
So this is just really saying the information is available. It's a communication tool,
Yeah.
you know, couched within specifications, RFPs, purchasing agreements between the vendor and the customer, and a standardized way of disclosing that information.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
just one point to add there is that it wasn't just vendors that were unwilling; some were unable. Right?
Right.
There was a range of maturity across the industry on vendors' ability and willingness to make a carbon disclosure, and so we're really defining that very baseline minimum expectation, defining what a carbon disclosure actually is, and
Mhm.
providing a lot of flexibility in how you get to that point, but making sure it's clear that there is some minimum expectations you have to meet. And so it's really just a first step in promoting transparency across the entire industry and making disclosure just the norm. It's making it more of a cultural norm across the industry to be willing and able to give a carbon disclosure.
Okay, great. So I'm curious. That's the question I have is since you guys have the methods already, and okay, I can see the link. So I was curious the processes. What is the information? What is the format we're going to use to report it? So is that would be in your link in your report?
I think, yeah, but I think it's also important there is no required method of sharing this information.
Yeah.
Every, I would think across, between just everyone on this call, we have Microsoft and Google and Meta,
Mhm.
all as part of the development of this base specification. And I know
Okay.
that all three of our companies are requesting carbon disclosures in
Right.
various formats. Even within our companies, we have multiple methods of requesting the information to be provided. So that's the base specification is intentionally open to the
Mm.
method of transmitting the information.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm interested to learn more about this. My company is I'm Shen Shendrum. So I'm working as a sustainability manager for ABB in North America ELDS organization. So one of the things that we're working on is for the life cycle assessment and also publishing the EPDs for our product. So I'm curious so that's why I joined the organization, see what is this report or the labeling going to be. I'm curious how the organization will evolve in the future. So if in the future we have similar activities like to have contributions, so I'm more than happy to contribute in the future if you have some white paper or similar things that you guys are working on for the one that you just shared, the disclosure that you working on the new version. I'm more than happy to be part of the team and to contribute.
Awesome. Welcome.
Thank you.
Great. Good to hear that. And yeah, I
Yeah,
think
we need more
something we
vendors. That's really great to hear. Yeah.
Yeah, and something I think we'll be coming up with. So the current document, it talks about all three areas, the construction material that goes into data center industry,
Mhm.
then the hardware that goes into rack assembly or server, and then all the support infrastructure, right? Chiller and the HVAC. But we will be like that's in the vision that how we want this to be industry specific, just specific to IT hardware, like what information should be captured. And
Okay.
that's where I think you can join that work stream once it's finalized and then contribute like, how it should be collected, what should be captured as the key information. And yeah, we'll be happy to have you on the work stream.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm thinking
Yeah.
that's the first step. So I'm looking forward.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Thank you. I will familiarize myself with all the documents and the links that you guys have shared. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Great. Are you going to be coming to OCP Global?
I not sure yet. So I need to check with the management and see if they will support on this one. So this is in October, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check with them again. Yeah.
I would say too, I'm just going to put my email address in there. Reach out to me because we're going to start kind of having a list of folks who we think who have said that they want to help contribute in these different, product line areas. So,
Yep.
we'll keep you on our list. I would think probably mostly for MEP equipment, I would assume.
Yeah, I will send you the request. So Schneider, you should know that Schneider and ABB quite in similar field,
Right.
like busways, switch gears, your breakers, protection systems. So those are things that we can definitely contribute and help.
Yeah. Yeah, I know we're competitors, but I think sustainability is a team sport, so we can work together on this.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to the future meetings and the discussions.
Great. Thank you,
Yeah,
Sean.
no, good to have you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
Well,
you.
thanks, y'all.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great
Thank
day.
you.
Yeah.
Have a good
Is
day.
this
Yeah,
is a
thank you.
monthly
Bye.
meeting, or we're going to send out meeting request when there's a meeting to happen?
This is a monthly meeting. I would imagine perhaps we might cancel next month in favor of having something forward looking after the summit, but to be
Okay.
determined.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right.
See you guys
Thanks.
later.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.